Yeah, I'm the one that's full of fun, guaranteed to make you come. I'ma put it down for sure. Once you enter through the door, drop them drawers like you Denzel. I don't believe in snacks, you could get the whole meal, that's real.
All right, y'all. Hey, y'all. Good evening. Welcome to Behind Closed Doors. It's your girl Toya Grove. How you doing?
How you doing? It's your man Crown Royal, aka Papi Chula Mario.
Really?
We're doing interracial.
We doing
shit.
interracial, so you just had to go
I
Spanish
had to
on
go
them.
do Spanish.
You had to.
Not that really actually counts as interracial, but
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna definitely get into that. So, as Crown said, tonight we are talking about interracial dating. That's what we're gonna talk about tonight, y'all. So please, all right. First of all, make sure you share, like. We want to hear what you guys got to say, y'all. We want y'all to speak to us. Hey, E, she's saying hello to us. All right, hey, girl. Well, share the live. Let's have a watch party. All right, y'all. So yeah. So what's going on?
we talk about interracial relationships.
Are you in an interracial relationship? Let us know. How's that working out for you? Did it work out? Is it not working out for you? Like, what did you get from it? Like, what? We want to know. Talk to us.
Okay, well let's get into some of the facts about what's going
Facts.
on with interrelated. When I did my little background check on everything, most of this stuff has to do with actual marriages, just so you know, because so the numbers that I use throughout the night
For marriages,
is basically interracial marriages. But we all know that it's more relationships out there than just marriages. So it's actually probably bigger in the population.
It had to start from somewhere first, right? So it had to start from a dating aspect, then turn to marriage, right?
Okay.
Okay.
The first interracial marriage was November 4th, 1874. A black man named Andrew Kinney married a white woman, Mahela
Whoa.
Miller, and it was that's when interracial marriage was first legalized in Washington D.C. and they lived in Virginia, and they were actually living together, and they actually had two sons.
What year you said that was?
1874.
1874. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And they was where? In Washington?
Well, they lived in Virginia, but it was the nation's capital was the first place that actually allowed interracial marriages.
I wonder they got away with that.
It was legal in D.C.
In D.C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, slavery was already over.
Yeah, but you know how people, I guess.
Yeah. Well, actually, case in point, it actually was like a state to state type of thing because not until 1967 was it actually legal across the whole country, and that was the Loving versus Virginia Supreme Court case. It was actually that was June 12th, 1967. So the anniversary actually just passed. But something that I found very interesting for our viewers is I sent you that article. Did you read about a black lady wrote an article that actually black women should actually look into dating people
Outside.
outside your race and actually start to look at dating white men, and generally is because there is no black men out there for you.
Where you at? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that true? Like,
Well, because
like-
the studies show,
I'm sorry,
like, for
some
instance,
black men just don't know how to act.
No.
Like she said, there's none out there for you. What does she mean? There's none out there for you.
because there are more black women in this country than black men. Period.
That is true.
Black men are incarcerated.
That's true.
Well, that's something to do with it, but I'm talking about generally, as in general, there is more black women in America than black men. That's going separate from incarceration, or so you got a lot of friends or a lot of people of a certain age in their 20s or 30s and 40s. They say they can't find a good black man. No, you're going to have a problem finding a black man. Period. Only because her study showed, and this was on Arts and Entertainment, and it was a article from August of 2019. Her study, she was a professor at Northwestern, and her study showed By the time a black woman turns 16, they outnumber the amount of black men. On the flip side, the average
Once they turn 16.
around the age of 16 is more. You'll find that is more women than men, and I can contest to this because when I was in high school, I dated several different women.
I was about to say,
always more women, and that had nothing to do with incarceration or anything like that. It was just the facts. But on the flip sides, with white people, when they're 32, that's when they start to outnumber white men.
You know what
That's single. I'm just saying, things of that nature. What?
That's probably why, like, when you in a small town, everybody just date the same people. The same guy, basically.
The same people, and when you small, or people date cousins and stuff, because there's not a limit. Lot of people. Sounds like a fact for polygamy. Yes, it does.
It's just what's going on. It's
exactly what I've been
happening.
But on the aspects of interracial dating or relationships, as of the census in 2010, about 3% of the marriages in America were what we call interracial or like with different. But that is 10 years ago. These numbers are going to be skyrocketing, especially since you look at the I look at my children's age and like the younger millennials and the Gen Zs, and they just more or less, they grow up with their friends are of all different races, and they have a lot of integration, so they just date whoever. Like people often ask me if I ever dated somebody outside the race, and I always say, for me in my today and age, it wasn't really an option because I went to a school with it was like 90-something% black people.
Wow.
I always grew up. That's how I grew up.
Hey Lane, hey Peaches on the line with us today. Hey Tina, how you doing, y'all? Make sure y'all share it. Let's have a watch party.
Are you trying to say that's why some people actually turn gay because it's
oh my gosh, that's what I was about to say before I even seen it. I was about to say maybe that's why some people turn lesbian.
We're not going to go into that one because nobody turns into anything.
Maybe they could be curious, so they go to the opposite, they same sex. They could be curious.
Okay.
The
No.
statistics is leaving out.
They are leaving that.
They are lesbians.
Yes,
so
they do leave this.
Leaving up.
I could, and I want to be honest about
Wait,
that.
say that part again.
I tried to look up some things that was related to that
LGBT,
and I couldn't really find anything to actually bring that into play.
right?
But in the same instance, just like we can't bring into play the whole aspects of a lot of black men are incarcerated. And if that's the same fact, we can talk about there's a lot of black men that are also in the LGBT community. So
Gay? You didn't
we
say
are.
that?
So
Okay.
that's what the whole. I can't get that. That's why I prefaced it at the beginning. These were just straight heterosexual numbers, and we know this is a more vast than just that. But what I wanted us to talk
Curious,
about,
Tina, just curious. You can't.
is actually
If you like
get
somebody.
into it more deeper, and because how when you deal with a situation where as though you're a or you're another race, how does that work out for you, and what are the barriers that you go through when you have to deal with that? Because I often tell my kids, like, if they are dating somebody outside that's not black, how do their parents treat you? That's what's important.
Even like with Hispanic people, they have the parents have a hard time with accepting other races into their family. Like if you had a Hispanic daughter, they wouldn't really want you coming in with a black boyfriend.
Well, don't nobody want nobody with no black boyfriend, period.
They don't?
No. That's just period.
Period?
That's just period. We're the lowest. That's why
I say, like, it ain't many out there, so then you saying period?
I'm just saying, as a race, we are looked down upon by everybody.
That's crazy.
Black women have the heart. These are the numbers, and this is just straight black women. Black women are more likely to be single.
Oh, dang.
It just shows.
It's a hard not life.
Period. And also because for one, black men are 2 times more likely to date and marry somebody out their race. 24%. They say 24% of black men in America will date or marry outside their race.
Wow.
Only 12% of black women do that. In the same instance of whereas though black women have the highest percentage of not being married by the time that they are 40.
Dang.
Oh, you dated a white person before?
P dated a white person before. I've never actually dated a white person before.
Mulattoes get us someone. You know what? That's the actual term for people get offended when you call them mulattoes, but that's the actual term. And actually, mulattoes are European and African people that's the biggest group in the world. Europeans, people from
Why do you
European
think they get a pass?
Because what?
The mulattoes.
Mulattoes get a pass for what?
That's what she said. She said
Because
they get a pass.
You can use the 1%, one drop rule. If you got one drop of black blood in you, then you black.
Right.
So you can't really count it as actually an interracial relationship. If if you had a black person, I guess maybe if you got a white person and they dated a mulatto, but a lot of times when that happens, in a lot of situations, from what I've seen, that person who is the mulatto identifies a lot of their lives as being that specific color. Like they live their lives in the normalcy of like a quote unquote white person.
Right.
Because let's be honest. We do have what we would call, a type of stereotype or cultural type of thing, and that you fall down go down a certain road.
Right.
That's why I never thought. I used to tell jokes like, I'm not a white girl's type.
You ain't.
You think? I don't think, and that's what it is, because I'm not that preppy and conservative. Wait a minute, I'm not that conservative type. That's just that wants like a white woman on my arm for business and things like that, or I'm not so far to the left that I'm like a thug and this, that, and other, and that's usually in a lot of cases. And if I'm stereotyping, it could be. I'm just talking about the way I grew up and where I grew up and around the situation.
Don't judge
You either
him.
had to be a big time like preppy type of nerd, or you had to be a thug.
Yeah.
See, me and Warder from the same world.
Yep.
Ward says we all black. The whites are just a recessive gene.
yeah.
I get that, but no white chicks for me. That's true. We ain't gonna get into. I don't want to get into the Hotep stuff today. I'm gonna get canceled.
That's like the white non-Hispanics that we was talking about.
You learned something today. See? Yes. And white Hispanics and white non-Hispanics. And that's a whole different
And that's
difference.
not considered a interracial relationship.
Because
it wouldn't be considered.
A lot of Hispanic people identify themselves as white. And you can look it up.
I think they would rather consider themselves as white than black.
No, but but if you look at them,
you got dark hair white.
If you look at a lot of people that are Spanish, they could pass for being white, and they are considered a white Hispanic.
Yep.
They characterize and identify as white, and they just so happen to maybe speak Spanish, or Spanish is in their heritage. Some type of Spanish is in their heritage.
Right.
It's the same difference, whereas though it's white and black Hispanics.
Right.
Some are just, like I always say, when you go down to the Caribbean, the slave boats just went a couple stops down. You know,
Wait, what? Hispanic people are some more Negroes?
Negroes, yes.
They are, right.
But also in that
They
case,
came from Africa.
no matter what, when you do have darker skin, a lot of times they are segregated against and
Right,
talked
right,
about
right.
in their own families or things of that nature.
That's crazy. Like, people always got to separate.
Well, because it's only when you use colorism, always is a way to. Everybody wants to be better than something else. But okay, but when you talk about this is something that I learned that a lot of people might not have. Being Hispanic and being Latino or Latina may be two different things. We always plug those together.
Right.
There's not. Because Latin being a Latino, we actually is specific to Latin America countries. So people that's from Cuba or Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, even Brazil. A Brazilian American, if you're from Brazil, they count you as being a Latino or a Latina, but even if you speak Portuguese. So you may be Hispanic but not Latina or Latino.
P, you right. She said, funny thing is, Spanish is a language, not the race.
That's why we have to use the term Hispanic or
Latin. Mm-hmm.
That's why, especially with some people that are ignorant, they just automatically just want. You can't group anybody as one thing. Because we all different in some aspects.
Right.
But people are so quick to say, why you think a daggone Puerto Rican have a fit if you called them a Mexican? Because that's not what they are.
That's true.
That's not what they are.
Right.
And not to even mention, they automatically, a lot of people don't believe this, and some people might watch this and not know that if you are born in Puerto Rico, you are an American citizen.
Duh. Well, some people don't know that.
And some
That's
people
true.
don't know that.
You are an American citizen.
They use American currency. You don't need a passport to get there. And their president is the United States president.
Your president.
Yeah, exactly. But it's always another.
Right.
So, but in dating and in relationships, it's very difficult for some people to get by that. I actually talked to a white woman before, and I met her on a date and she was down for the cause. She basically I'm saying she was a white woman that she had black children. She only dated black men her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt uncomfortable.
Why? Because she was
white.
Because she was Caucasian?
Yep.
So
I felt uncomfortable.
Think you Caucasian?
No, I felt uncomfortable when we met for dinner and this, that, and other. I felt uncomfortable. I wasn't comfortable.
What made you feel uncomfortable?
Because I just thought people were looking at me. And
you just as white as her, I'm sure, and you thought people was looking at you.
Nah, she was. It's a different.
You could tell the difference.
I
know. You could tell.
Trust me. I'm trust me. Thanks for it. Trust me. It was a time that I used to think being light skinned would help me out until I found out when I was in Cherry Hill one day that I was still a nigga.
Oh, yeah,
and
Cherry Hill.
I was still a nigga.
Wow.
So I figured out.
So you high yellow nigga
didn't make any difference. But I'm saying it had nothing to do with her. She was a sweet woman and everything else. But I didn't feel comfortable, and we stayed friends, but we never moved in to something different. I'm like, that's just.
Wow.
And it's just, but you know what? I'm open to anybody.
Right.
I don't want to be the person that sits there and say I would never do that or this that. I used to have rules about stuff. You still do. I still do.
Hey, Michael Jamal,
but
how you doing?
I would tell you this much: I can see beauty in other races,
right?
But not a problem.
Okay.
I can
you just choose not to.
I just
date it. Date that.
Well, that's just like I used to say I wouldn't date light-skinned women. I wouldn't date light-skinned black women because I only prefer dark-skinned women.
I don't think I prefer not to date light-skinned. men.
Yes.
So
But
like,
guess what? You
like
find
chocolate.
somebody
Right.
when you find
Right.
somebody that checks some other boxes,
Right.
and
You can look over that part.
but your preference goes away because they
Right.
they
I think-
beautiful, they smart,
Right.
they funny, they got a lot of things. What did you say hi to Michael Jamal?
Yes, I
Yeah,
said
okay.
hello. Hey, Michael Jamal, how you doing
The
tonight?
problem that I have in this case, and this is a problem that I have with black people, and I'm just gonna talk about my people.
Okay.
I got a problem with when a black man say they automatically just won't date their own race. Like, period. They refuse. And they give me the
like
they give you the
all
stereotypes
women is
about a
too-
black woman.
Right. She's the angry black woman.
Yes. Or something, and
Something
it
in
makes
that type
me
of
feel
aspect,
some type
right.
of way because I'll be like, well, what was your relationship with your mother? If you automatically just give up, on black women, I'm serious.
No, I'm not laughing at. I'm laughing at Peach talking about I find beauty in other races, but that thin hair makes my eyes what?
That's not.
You know what? I wouldn't even know. It just made me chuckle.
I'm allergic because I've been sneezing and stuff from
The hair shedding
their hair.
or the hair shed?
Oh, the shit. That's a whole nother stereotype too.
No, seriously.
Yeah, it could be, but the whole basis of stereotypes is what they a lot of times they based in some truth. Well, wait a minute, that's just the chicks that he attracts. You might be
Who attracts?
when I was talking about how a black man was saying he doesn't date black women because
right.
he didn't like their attitudes
Right.
and this that and that. White women and everybody got attitudes.
Everybody got an attitude, honey.
Some people are just more, submissive than others, but that's just just their mentality or whatever.
Who you gonna go to jail quicker for?
Wow, how do we go there?
I'm just saying, cause they said attitudes and stuff like that. So I'm like, just don't get involved.
Yes, Casey says I'm mixed, so anyone I date is an interracial
Hey, Casey,
date.
I didn't even see her there. Hello.
Technically, but that's where I was saying in that aspects. People that are actually biracial, they usually have a stronger side that they lean to, and then it's also important that your age group and where you grew up at, because trust me, especially if you was down in the South and 30, 40, 50 years ago, you being mixed, you might have get some type of a little bit of more leeway, but you still be considered black, and they would still be saying, you dating that mulatto boy or girl or whatever this that. And other.
Dating that mulatto, that high yellow.
That's a whole nother colorism thing that we but it's more prevalent now, and I actually like that it's more prevalent now, and it's not like, for instance, like back when in my day growing up and everything, you would see somebody of a different race and you would like walking in the mall and you would actually just look at them and be like, ooh, it would catch your eye. Now it's more normalized, and like I said before, for people that didn't catch, people love who they want to love,
Right.
and I'm cool with that.
Right.
The only thing that I do have a problem with people that automatically just exclude their own race and say they refuse to. Like, wow, that makes me feel some type of way. And that would be even, it's white women that say like, that's what I am. They like black guys
right.
and they don't, that's what, I'm like, wow. Like, how we get there?
It's different also when you're dating someone of another race, as far as like Hispanics. How can I say?
You say
like being with them is different. Like they was raised different. You know what I mean? So a lot of
stereotypes, but you're right. Whereas though they might be more family based and they could be possessive and things like that. But you can say, but people will say that the same thing about people from the Caribbean, about Jamaicans or
them too,
or Africans.
Them too.
But
I guess as being from another country or whatever, that's how they was raised. They was raised to be, the women are submissive, I guess.
Yeah, in a lot of countries. Yeah. Or
So-
said something about more or less chasing a trophy.
A trophy.
And
What's this trophy?
I think we
Reward.
discussed that on the other show last week because,
No,
like I said, I had a friend who was dealing with a white guy. She's black, but she had a problem if a black person a black man dealing with a white woman because she felt as though that's just the stereotype of the trophy, and this is what beauty is.
Oh,
and
you're
they're
right,
not
right,
actually
right.
looking-
That's if a black man was
was
dating
dealing
a
with
white woman. Mhm.
Yeah.
Right, you said that.
And in some cases, it may be right, but then it might be based
Maybe they
on
just like them.
no, or could it be your situation where you, especially when you're talking about like athletes and things like that,
Oh,
it's where you go to school at and or where you was grew up at. You might be right. Maybe they just looking for the coin or something like that, but.
it's always like that. A lot of athletes, they always date outside their race. If they're black, they usually date outside their race. I don't know.
Not a lot.
I ain't
it's
say all of them,
It's
but a
not
lot
a
of
lot.
them.
It's just always looked
Just
upon.
with
It's always looked upon. But all right, for now, like nowadays, the biggest interracial group that's growing is black women and Asian men.
black women and Asian men.
Yeah, that's a very that's a growing.
Tequila.
And not even a thing. All right, for instance, the Hawaii and California both have the largest interracial marriage group in the country.
Hawaii, California.
Hawaii and California,
Mm-hmm.
and it's majority Asian because Hawaii is majority Asian. And California is a lot of Asian people too,
Right.
and a lot of Hispanics, and they
I've
they
seen
ma-
that before.
but,
Asians dating black people. So
but 42%
not
of
as
the
rare.
marriages in Hawaii are interracial.
yeah.
42%.
Mm.
And
So
but
what type of people are in Hawaii?
more Asian, but
More
Polynesian.
Asian
It's,
and
it's
yeah.
like from Polynesian, they're majority what you say Asian. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and they generally they marry a lot of majority-
Filipinos.
That's
and stuff.
Asian.
Yeah.
And
Filipino,
that's
okay.
Asian. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's
More
out there.
opportunity dating Caucasian in America.
You can have more opportunities by dating Caucasians in America.
Think so?
Yeah, you open up doors.
Well, if they got connections, not all Caucasians got a connection.
Well, let me see.
Tell me something. Tell
All
me.
right, but let me say this. It's not too many white people that go and deal with people of other race just because they love them. While you see these people that are in power, they meet up with other people in power.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's not to shit on anybody's love. I'm just saying sometimes it's a power move.
Right.
I'm sorry. I sit and watch those NBA drafts and NFL drafts, and I see them black country boys, and they got a blue-eyed, blonde-eyed girl on their arm, and I'm just like, she counting checks.
Counting them.
That's all. But that's my natural thought. Like,
Right.
if
That might
would,
be true.
Would she be with him
If he wasn't
if
at that
he
status.
wasn't an athlete?
Right.
If he wasn't about to get a check?
Right. It's true.
But people,
Smart.
they can deal. But if you go to a certain school and you only have about X amount of people to count with, you know, it could be some trophy type thing or whatever. But I don't want to think about that.
What about Eve?
Eve is married to a white man. What about her?
What about her?
Yeah, she's married to a white man. But I already said, if you didn't see it at the beginning, black women need to actually start looking at dating outside their race because they outnumber. They outnumber black men.
When you put it that way, maybe.
Oh, he's a billionaire. I didn't know what he did.
Oh, no. She talking about Eve, the rapper.
I said that. I know
that's
that.
what you're talking about? Okay.
I said she's married
She's
to a
married.
white man.
She is married to a
And
white man. He's a billionaire. He's definitely a billionaire.
Yeah.
She's smart.
Yeah, Serena Williams is too.
Yeah. Serena. Yep.
And your next might want to be vice president is too. Kamala Harris is married to a white man. But it is. Oh, Peach is saying you can get by marrying white, cut through some redlining, absolutely, and you can get more loan opportunities.
Loan opportunities?
Yeah,
Okay.
because the credit and just let's cut the bullshit. If you want, even if you want to get
crazy.
if you want to get an Airbnb, you better put somebody white on your daggone avatar. I'm just saying.
Wow. It's like that.
It's true.
That's crazy. This
But
world is crazy.
But I'm not going to say
Society's a
Eve
mess.
married that man because he had his
he was
money.
a
I don't know
billionaire,
what their
right.
situation is, but anybody looks better when they got some digits too.
Sure do.
But
Got
I'm
them
talking about
comma.
I'm talking about people that actually get involved in relationships when I'm talking about ground up. I'm talking about when it's like the money's not involved. Whereas though you actually just dating somebody because you date somebody. Nobody on here has actually stated that they actually been in any type of interracial relationship or even tried either. Maybe we don't.
I think Casey has said she did.
But she also made known that anytime she date anybody is actually interracial because she's mixed.
Right.
Which is,
I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
But and then sometimes it's where as though
where at y'all? Who done
people
dated
don't
outside their
actually,
race? We want to know.
just if you are a white Hispanic, it's not considered being in an interracial relationship if you date a non-white Hispanic, because you identify as being white. As yourself.
Yeah, Peach said she dated a white man. Okay.
Kishma been there.
Kishma,
Been there.
hello.
Hi.
Been there where? Where you been?
Probably must have dated her. Let's talk
Who
about
you dated? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, honey.
But
Let's
wait a
talk.
minute. We should probably go to the first break, and then y'all leave some comments about y'all interracial relationships and
Let's
how that ended
talk.
up
We're gonna talk. We're gonna read your comments, y'all. We're gonna talk about it
when we come back.
when we come back. So, y'all, we are looking for independent music artists, y'all. We looking for music videos to play on the show. If that's you or someone you know, hit us up.
I want some R&B.
Submissions.
I want
We don't
some
R&B,
neo
we need
soul.
some-
Some-
No.
Don't do that.
Okay, we need submissions at plugstudionetwork.com, and in the subject box put BCD, so we know it's for us, y'all. Where's your videos? We wanna let's work, let's network. Come on now. So let's
Help me help you.
Help me help you. Like, all right, let's get into it. Kitty Monroe, Espresso.
Paid to breathe.
Yeah, you thought that you could take my man, guess again, ho. Couldn't have been her plan, so I'ma let this hoe know. Bumped your head if you thought that you could take my shit. We fell in love cause he knew that I could take that dick. And I'ma pop it for a real one, he busted like a water gun. Get right back at it, yeah, that nigga wanna rerun. We get it poppin' till the sun come up. No, we don't sleep, give him round, yeah, I don't let up. And I don't worry about no breakfast cause that meat is what I eat. And this cookie is the freshest, so I feed my niggas treats. If you think you gon' put hands up on my man, you gon' get checked. Don't play around with me, baby girl, I'm from the pride. He want a project chick, a hood rat chick. He want a project chick, a hood rat chick. Don't play around with me, baby girl, I'm from the pride. He want a project chick, a hood rat chick. He want a project chick, a hood rat chick. Don't play around with me, baby girl, I'm from the pride. Hut 1, hut 2, put your hands on your knees. Get in that blue 42, make it jiggle with ease. Hut 1, hut 2, put your hands on your knees. Get in that blue 42, make it jiggle with ease. Now bounce that ass till you can't no more. Make them stand up at attention, jaws drop to the floor. I said bounce that ass till all your bills paid for. Make him come up out his pocket, leave him feeling for more. And I'm working, I do it, that's for certain. If a hoe chick, a hood rat chick. He want a project chick, a hood rat chick. Don't play around with me, baby girl, I'm from the project. He want a project chick, a hood rat chick. He want a project chick, a hood rat chick. Don't play around with me, baby girl, I'm from the project.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Behind Closed Doors.
What was that video?
That was Kitty Monroe. Yeah. Hey, Smack. Yeah, so we talking about interracial dating, y'all.
Yeah.
So make sure you share the live. Let's continue to have this conversation because this is a pretty interesting conversation. We got, and Crown over here got some great facts for you. Some facts for that ass. All right?
Okay, so Kisma said I'm black and one of my girlfriends was Italian.
Okay. All right now.
I guess that count. A lot of times,
It should. Why wouldn't it count?
because Italians have some ethnic to them too.
Okay.
But a lot of them don't. According to what part of the, the boot, what side of the boot you on, but
black.
But and that's why you see a lot of Italians actually date and marry black people. A lot of famous people. It's very common.
Wow.
But I want to know when dealing in those relationships, especially say if you black and you're dealing with somebody, how do you conversate with them about the black struggle and about your culture and your upbringing?
How can you get them to understand it? Like,
I only say that because we live in a white society, so we can maneuver and live in their world because if you are not ignorant, you know how to maneuver in that way. But and that's what kids. But that's what I'm asking about the mixing of the cultures, and because a lot of times, especially when you black, you are segregated and relegated by basically every other group there is. They all have a dirty name for us, and a lot of times that we are not actually looked upon as an equal or anything of that.
That's crazy because when it comes down to it, most of them are black. I said when it comes down to it, most of them are black.
Yeah.
So why do they have to talk dirty, talk down on us?
We ain't going.
But I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
I'm
just saying, at the end of the day, majority of them is black anyway. Okay.
Yeah, but you still have daggone cultural and problems within the black community too. Just like you can date a person that's African and you be an American black, but you brought up two different ways and you have different thoughts.
Dating non-American,
right? That's
blacks
exactly
feel
what I was
like
just
an
saying.
interracial
when you
relationship.
dating a non-American black, it's just feel like it's because you have a different culture.
Yeah, it's different.
And then you still have to sit there finding out, explaining yourself on why certain things are a certain way by the way that you grew up. I don't think any of this is easy. Dating period is not easy. But I think it's another catapult or another hurdle to pass when you actually are not from the same race because maybe you just were brought up a different way. Now some people may be identified in a certain way because they grew up in the same neighborhood, they're in the same tax bracket, they went to the same schools, so they may have more things in common on that level at that age group. And that's why I say this generation with Gen Z, later millennials and Gen Zs, they have a lot of things that's in common, and a lot of that is because of the culture. I mean, hip hop has provided a lot of this to people So whereas though the way the people dress and the music that people listen to,
Right.
it crosses over, so you can actually identify with somebody. Not until whereas though you can have conversations, and it's not as we're still segregated as much as we always have been, but because of the internet and because of television and everything, we're not. Our cultures aren't as so segregated unless you choose to be that way. But I could understand that it's a big problem when you in dating if you have coming from these two.
This may be off a little bit, but I don't understand how black Hispanics don't think they black.
Huh?
Huh?
What did you say?
Black Hispanics don't think they black. You just as dark as Kunt Kinte.
Because
They think that Hispanic is saying who they are. It's not. You're black.
Hispanic is not a
A
race.
race. They think it is. It's crazy how Hispanics think that Hispanic is a race.
Or if you from Cuba, that's a nationality.
Mm-hmm.
If you from Ecuador or Brazil, that's a nationality.
That's like how Hondurans in Ecuador, you call a Honduran Ecuadorian, they get upset.
Well, okay.
Like you right next to each other when you're the same people.
No, you're not the same people, and that's some racist shit. And that's the whole point.
You're black.
No, but okay, you can identify where, but you can't actually. Don't shit on where somebody's from. That's my point.
I'm not.
That's just no. I'm saying people in general. Just like the smartest thing to do, and I don't know where the fuck we got here from. The smartest thing to do is just the daggone. People are Asian. Don't just automatically assume that they're Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Filipino. I don't know the fucking difference when I'm looking at. So you know what I do, and this is out of no disrespect. I ask somebody where your people from, where you descended from, so I can understand.
You know how to deal with them?
No, not even know how to deal with them, because that way I don't shit on them and just automatically put them in a category.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing with black folks. And same thing with white. You can't just automatically put somebody in a box. And we deal with prejudice, and I mean, interracial couples deal with it even. I can imagine, like, sometimes they must be off on an island, because I'm pretty sure in some aspects, some part of their family don't like what they doing
Right.
and who they love.
Mm-hmm. Some people get disowned from their family for choosing to be in a relationship with someone outside.
But
of
I
their race.
ask you this though: why, if you were Hispanic or Hondurans or whatever, why would you want to consider yourself black?
It ain't getting them nowhere, right?
No, it's always depicted as being something negative, as a less than.
That's.
Why
I
you
think that's
it-
true.
Why you think all across the world, especially in India and
Black shits have
Africa,
a bad name. It's horrible.
they got all these bleaching products. So
Oh
people,
yeah, so they could lighten their skin. They
so
do.
you look at little Kim now.
Oh damn, she looked better than she did before.
She lighter than your ass.
But her face looks better than it did before.
Hey
Kim.
Don't get
I
it.
fucks with you.
I fucked with her in '97. She eat a dick and died now.
What?
Right. What we talking about, Kishma Bay?
Damn rude and disrespectful.
LOL. I
Damn.
work with them and they racist as whites.
Kishma.
Kishma?
Kishma.
I'm sorry. She did okay. She read one thing right. Fucking 12 weeks. Now she reads something right.
You say that
corrected
every
me.
week.
Because it's the first time you read something right in 12 weeks.
You say that every damn week. So I must be doing something right.
I keep giving it.
I bet they will
Stop shitting on
identify
the joke.
if we. Okay. Wait.
With reparations.
Reparations? I bet they will identify if we got
Right.
reparations. Laugh out loud.
Oh. Yeah, it's talk about
What you
the.
mean?
She talking about actually if these Hispanics or people that are of our dark complexion would identify being black if they were if we got reparations. Yeah, but they wouldn't get our reparations because you had to
Why
be
not?
because if you want reparations, the reparations has to be a direct descendant of the American government. So people that's from Haiti and Jamaica and everything,
He's such a smarty pants.
they got to talk to the Queen. You got to talk to the Queen, or you got to talk to whoever colonized you.
The Queen of England?
Well, it was according to who. And she said both of us is saying it wrong. I'm sorry. You must get that a lot. Don't stop.
Kishma.
Don't stop saying
Isma. Which one was it?
No, stop
sorry.
doing it.
I'm sorry. I'm trying.
Don't
I
do
get
it.
Right.
She said it's cool, so
Sorry.
she talking
Sorry,
about
babe.
Latinos just denying their blackness. Tell them, like I always, when somebody could tell them, the slave ships just went a couple stops past Florida, and they ended up over there where you at in the Caribbean, and they kept on going down. She said you got it.
Thanks. I don't know which one it was. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm just joking. I got you, girl. I got you. I got you. All right. So, yeah. They end up, what you said? They end up in the Caribbean?
The slave ships just went a couple docks down. That's all.
Right. Uh-huh.
You didn't get that color from,
Right.
from the Europeans that colonized you.
You didn't.
Actually, to break down, like for specific, Dominican Republic.
Okay.
Look this up today.
Look it up.
The Dominican Republic is broken down like 52% of Dominican Republic people, they are white. 39% are black.
39% are black and how many white?
52% of Dominican
52.
Republic. And
Okay.
if you look at some Dominicans are light skinned, a little bit lighter than me, or this, and then you see some darker Dominicans.
Right.
People from Honduras. Well, all the people I done seen from Honduras, I would just say if they didn't have an accent, I would just say they were black.
They were black. Mm-hmm. But then they got the white ones too.
But that happens with them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So
Yeah,
what you say? The oldest
Body
body found ever was found in Africa, making
Mix
all
of
of us
everybody.
black.
Yeah, everybody knows and they don't want to do, and that's we don't want to get into that.
Nobody wants to admit it.
No, why? You've been daggone
Right.
blindsided and okey doke all your life to think something that is different.
Fuck it, I'm Caucasian.
You can identify that way whatever you want.
I'm Caucasian.
If Rachel Dolezal or whoever can identify black, you can identify.
Oh yeah, right.
You can identify white if you like.
It's over. I'm checking Caucasian on my papers.
Yeah, when you show up for that job, they'll
I'm like,
figure
you
something else
judging
out.
me?
They'll figure something else
I'm
out.
like, you judging me, trying to say I'm not who I am?
Pretty much.
I ain't light for a reason.
Nobody is actually.
But yes.
Nobody actually is.
Nobody's talking to us today.
No,
What-
people.
what-
I don't think
what?
a lot of people actually. I don't think it must not be that prevalent on the people that's on tonight. And I couldn't bring any real life action into it because I haven't done it myself.
Oh, right. It's just a good conversation to have. You know what I'm saying? I've dated Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So. What?
That's it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's interracial. I feel like they still black. Like we were saying. Like I don't know.
Well, it still had to be an issue about the culture.
Yeah, the culture definitely was different. I feel like they want their women to be more submissive in a relationship. But
Yeah, but what do you have to compare it to then?
what do I have to compare it to? Well,
Yeah,
my regular life.
it was too much work.
What was so much work?
Being in it was too much work. Being in an interracial relationship.
It's too
Saying,
much
"Won't do
work?
it again."
Wow. Dang. I don't know if I'll do it again either. But then I might because there's such a shortage of black men. If I was able to go there. It's a shortage going on. What's going on? It's goddamn shortage.
Well,
Where the black men at?
it's
Where you at?
It's some women out there that might miss for you.
Wait, what?
It's some women out there for you. Y'all at the same
But
boat.
y'all saying I can't turn gay?
No, that's impossible.
Y'all saying nobody
You
can't
ain't
turn
no-
gay?
You can't turn it.
Why you can't turn
You
gay?
can't. Of
Why
course,
not?
it got to be something that's already in you.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That might.
People could like the same sex later on. They were straight. Then
Good
they.
night. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for
Kiss-
tuning in. Thank you so much.
Kishma.
Have a good night.
Thank you. I tried again. But
Yeah.
we gonna move off this topic anyway. So what we doing tomorrow? Because we about to be hitting that time period.
Are
right
we?
now. Yes, already.
Oh dang.
It's kicking it. What we doing tomorrow?
It just
Toya?
went so fast. Ages. What's your age preference, y'all? Do you got an age preference?
I don't want to talk about it.
You-
That's why we got a show.
Do you guys have an age preference in your dating life? What is it, y'all? We want to know. We want to talk about it. Tomorrow is Phone and Friday, so we want y'all to call in. Let's have a conversation. What's good?
It's age
Call us
preference
in.
and date.
We want you to call in. Talk to us.
You always can use the rule half your age plus 7.
I like let's talk about tomorrow.
But
I ain't gonna say. We'll talk about tomorrow. All right, y'all.
It should be interesting. People need to call in too, so we can get your beliefs.
Opinions. Yes, we want to know what's going on, y'all. All right,
And
so
preferably my sister shouldn't watch because I don't want to hear from her tomorrow.
what? Don't do stuff like that. Don't do her like that. All right, don't do it like that. All right, y'all. So that's our show for tonight, y'all. So make sure y'all tune in with us tomorrow night at 8. It's Phone and Fridays.
Or whenever she show up.
Whenever I get here, or whenever you get here. I can't stand him. So yes, that's it, y'all. So y'all
Are we
have
going,
a
are
what?
we going out to? We talked so much. We need
Get
to go
the-
out. The
it's-
next,
it's fine.
We should
It's fine.
Let
It's
them know
okay.
what we going out to, honey.
Where we go? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
We can just leave it alone. We talk to y'all tomorrow. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.
Watching the silhouette from the candlelight, slipping and sliding a little more to the right. They say all the freaky bitches come out at night. Yeah, I'm the one that's full of fun, guaranteed to make you come. I'ma put it down for sure. Once you enter through the door, drop them drawers like a Denzel. I don't believe in snacks, you could get the whole meal. That's real.